as such it is difficult to implement the external controls. So here the internal controls will play a major role, and that can only come through ethics, through morality and conscience. I will discuss the status, ethics, or let's say level of ethics, got it, or significance of ethics, you can say. So certainly yes, from the discussions that we have earlier, one thing which I can say with conviction is that status of ethics should be very high. Now there's a difference here. Should be very high or is really high. Certainly, if you look at the Indian context, then right now the status of ethics in India is not very good. Corruption is huge. But at least one thing is there, that it should be very high. Every system wants that ethics should be given priority in it. Why the high status? If the question comes that why status should be high, so for this multiple reasons can be given. Like the first thing that we have discussed, I think in the second class itself, the first point here is consequences of ethics are huge. And this point we have already discussed in the topic consequences of ethics. I told you the 3 E's: corruption, nepotism, work culture, all those points that we have discussed earlier, you can write here. This is the first point, that suppose if the question comes that why the status of ethics should be high in public administration. So the first point that you can write is that consequences are huge, and then all the positive and negative consequences you guys can write, that we have discussed earlier also. The second point that can be written is ethics or values enjoy constitutional status. This you are understanding. Like it is not an option for a public servant to be ethical or not. It is a constitutional obligation on him. In this regard, you can draw this diagram also. Now, citizens to the constitution gives social values. Constitutional morality, which guides government, and then governance values can bring change in the constitution also. Got it? Like the present government, it brought about change in the constitution that EWS will get reservation from now. So things can keep on changing, but constitution enjoys the highest status, and because ethics are mentioned in the constitution itself, they must be followed by the government. They don't have any other choice. Second point is constitutional authority, constitutional obligation. The third point here is, you can draw this diagram. Third point here is that civil servants have special obligations. Special obligations are there. How? Like in fact, this question can also be asked that when compared to private sector, public sector have more obligations when it comes to ethical conduct. Or you can say that in public sector, ethics relatively play a more important role when compared to the private sector. So why ethics are so important? Because civil servants have certain special obligations. What are these? Like, see, the first thing is, in private sector, the person is using his own resources, his own work. A businessman is there, he has his own money and he is risking that money to start a new business. So if the money is lost, it will be his own risk. But here in government, the civil servants are using public money. They are spending resources on behalf of the people, and that is why extra responsibility, extra care must be taken. Got it? So the first point you can write here is that civil servants are responsible. Civil servants are responsible for managing resources, entrusted to them by the community. Then second point that you can write is that the decisions that they make, the repercussion has to be faced by the people. Like, even a very small decision can have huge repercussions on people. Let's say government decides that this land now would be taken for developmental purposes. So the land of a farmer is taken, or the house of a person in an urban area is taken for developing metro project. So small decision but has huge impact on the people. So this is the second point you can write, that civil servants take important decisions that affects all aspects of community and individual well-being. Then third point you can write is that they have to deliver services. They have to deliver services to the whole community, and that too in equal manner. So uniformity and equality has to be maintained. It is not like a private sector player. It can open branch of its company in one area, in one region, and can ignore the others. He has no such responsibility of overall growth. But a public servant has to take into regard the regional disparities, the regional equalities. Got it? So this is a point. Then last point that you can write is that civil servants enjoy huge discretion and power with poor accountability setup. So accountability is usually less in civil services, especially in Indian case, whereas the power is huge, the discretion is huge. And as such, it is difficult to implement the external controls. So here the internal controls will play a major role, and that can only come through ethics, through morality and conscience. Got it? So you can write down few lines also. These reasons you can write. These points you can write as introductions and conclusions. What you will write in introduction, you can say that values are essential components. Values are essential components of organizational culture and are instrumental in determining, informing, and guiding behavior of civil servants. And then what you can write in conclusion? Thus, good governance requires selection, profession, practice, and propagation of finest values and ethics, prevailing in a society. All right. Now see, you will find that this line is a bit difficult, but actually I have taken this line from Article 25, which calls for freedom of conscience and freedom of selection, profession, practice, and propagation of any religion by the citizen. Got it? So till now we have discussed that the status of ethics should be very high. The level, position should be very high, and these are the reasons for that.